So this is working. Dead. Dead, dead, dead. You've been dead? No, most people haven't. And those who have don't usually live to tell about it. But you see, I did. I did live to tell about it. Seriously. Lazarus, that's me. A bit like Toys R Us, except with a Laz, if you get my meaning. Now, yeah, I was dead, now I'm not. But I'm not a zombie or anything. I'm not going to eat your brains or chew your face off or anything. Besides, I'm vegan. So here's the thing. I was sick. I was really, really sick. I knew it was bad because my sisters, Mary and Martha, they got really quiet. And, if you've got sisters, you'd know how weird that is. And I know I was really sick because I kept nodding off. Just unconscious-like. And then when I was awake, I was seeing things. Just things and people and dogs and stuff like that. Mary told me later she reckons I was having conversations with the wind. But, I was sick. I was really sick. So, in my culture, people believed that sickness was caused by sin and that God was punishing us for that. And yeah, I'll admit, I wasn't perfect by any stretch. But who is? My mate, Myron, he's done a hell of a lot worse stuff than me. And he didn't get sick. It's not fair. Anyway, I try not to think about stuff like that because, I'm just kind of a practical bloke, really. I just think about me work and me mates and me family and leave all that deep thinking stuff for the old people and the priests. People with nothing better to do. So, where was I? Oh yeah, sick. I was so sick. I was talking to people that weren't even actually there. I don't remember much, but that's what Mary told me after. At some point, Mary and Martha sent someone to get our brother Jesus. He was on the road doing a tour. I call him my brother because, he was like a brother. He was like a brother to the whole three of us. And he and his little mob used to stay with us sometimes when they were, on their way to or from somewhere. Bethany we lived in. Yeah, Bethany. Just a couple of clicks from Jerusalem. If you've never been there, you should, pop in next time you're in the area. It's a nice little town. And there's quite a few nice places on Airbnb these days. Anyway, apparently, whoever was sent to get Jesus came back a bit disappointed because Jesus didn't seem too concerned that I was sick. In fact, he didn't do a damn thing for a couple of days. Some brother, some best friend, eh? They reckon he had his reasons. But I don't know, it still, hurts a bit. Eventually, so they tell me, he and his little mob of followers started moving towards us. Back towards Jerusalem and Bethany. The blokes that were with him, they were a bit petrified about the whole going back to Jerusalem thing because last time there was this bunch of religious nutters that tried to stone him, and apparently there was a warrant out for his arrest. So, I wouldn't have wanted to go back to Jerusalem if I was them either. But like I said, he had other plans. According to Andrew, he's one of the blokes in the mob, it was only then that Jesus told them I was actually dead. Like, at first he just said that I was asleep. So, they all thought that, oh yeah, that's good, he's having a nap, he'll be fine. They just didn't get it. So he had to flat out tell them I was dead. He even said he was glad he wasn't there when I died, because he had other plans. What the? So I'm dead, and my sisters are hysterical, and our so-called best friend has other plans. According to Andrew, my sisters both went off at Jesus when he finally arrived. They said to him, you should have been here. You should have been here. He would have been saved. But it was, it's a weird thing about Jesus. I always thought he was a feely kind of a bloke, but apparently he didn't show any feelings until he saw Mary and Martha having a ball and all his, friends around having a ball. And then apparently he had a little ball as well. And apparently then he got them to take him to the tomb that they had me in. And he told some of the blokes to move the stone. And Martha, being Martha, just kind of jumped in and said, no, you can't do that. Laz has been there for 4 days. He'll be as stinky as donkey vomit. Well, apparently Jesus said to her, look, Martha, just believe. So she backed off and let the blokes roll away the stone. Now, this is where I can pick up a story again for myself. Sort of. So here's me, right? Dead as a doornail, all wrapped up like they did back then, laying in this tomb. And it was weird then, because I sort of felt like I was waking up from one of my prolonged naps that I was having when I was really sick. It's pretty much what I thought was happening. Just another big nap, and I was waking up. Except it was a bit different this time. This time I started hearing things before I could see anything. It was kind of weird. I tried to open my eyes, but it was like there was this stuff stuck on them. So I'm lying there, stiff as a board, and I can hear this, but I can't see, and I can't move. And this, it's getting louder. And then I can start to see this glow through my eyelids. And then all of a sudden I heard the voice real clear, and I recognised it was Jesus. And he was saying, Lazarus, come out. Well, then I started fighting to try and get all this guff off myself so I could get up, but oh crikey, they tied it pretty tight. I wanted to run out, but I managed to kind of stagger, got enough of the stuff off to move my legs and see a bit where I was going. I just wanted to run out there and tell them I was okay. Finally got out. There were a few sort of, like this, but the best thing, I walked out of that tomb, got the shock of my life. There was this huge cheer coming from the crowd, and Mary and Martha, they're touching me and they're laughing and crying and carrying on, And then I saw Jesus being jostled in amongst the crowd. He was just standing there, smiling at me. just smiling at me, that smile. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I understood what had happened. And then I started bawling. Yeah. And I just kind of said to him. So I was dead, folks. Absolutely dead. Not just a little bit dead. Really, really dead. And you know how I said I don't really think much about that heavy stuff? Well, I've been thinking about that heavy stuff. And I've realised something. It's a lot easier to be dead than to be truly alive. These days, I see dead people everywhere. People who aren't actually dead, but who aren't really alive either. You know, people who are just plodding along. Not seeing, not feeling, not noticing how beautiful everything is. People who've left their passion behind and they're just putting one foot in front of the other, just getting by. People who've stopped loving and being loved. People whose lives end before they're dead, if that makes any sense. Yeah. People who just don't care anymore. Tell you what, if I've learned anything from this experience, and if Jesus has taught me one thing, it's this. Care passionately. Love deeply. Live now. Even if it costs you your life. Got that?